Ever wondered why Washington State is commonly known as Seattle? It's a question that has baffled many a traveler and geography enthusiast. The confusion primarily arises from Seattle's status as the most populous city in Washington State, and its prominent cultural and economic influence. Seattle, with its iconic Space Needle piercing the sky and the bustling Pike Place market, often outshines the rest of Washington State in the public eye. It's like the popular kid at school who takes all the attention while the rest of the students, or in this case, cities, are left in the shadows. Now let's add a dash of popular culture into the mix. Think about the last time you saw Washington State in a movie or a TV show. Odds are it was probably Seattle's skyline that filled the screen or the grunge music scene that filled the soundtrack. From Sleepless in Seattle to Grey's Anatomy, Seattle has been the star of the show, further cementing its place as a synonym for Washington State. News and media outlets also play a part in this confusion. Major events happening in Washington State often get reported as happening in Seattle. As the state's largest city and a hub for business, tech, and culture, Seattle naturally becomes the focal point for news coverage. And let's not forget the world of sports. The Seattle Seahawks, the city's NFL team, are often simply referred to as Washington. This further blurs the line between the city and the state, leading to the common misconception that Seattle and Washington are one and the same. But let's set the record straight. Seattle is a city, a vibrant and dynamic one at that, located in the beautiful state of Washington, which is filled with a multitude of other cities, towns, landscapes, and attractions waiting to be discovered. So next time you hear Washington and think Seattle, you'll know why. But Washington is much more than Seattle, starting with the person at the helm. The governor, a key figure, is the political and executive leader who guides the state. Their contributions to Washington's growth and prosperity cannot be understated. They set the tone, driving policies and initiatives that shape the state's future. Right now, the governor's chair is occupied by a dynamic and dedicated individual who has made significant strides in various sectors, from education to the environment, economy to healthcare, proving once again that effective leadership can indeed make a difference. But let's not forget about the people of Washington. They are as diverse as the landscapes that stretch across the state. A vibrant mix of cultures, languages, and traditions, they are the heartbeat of Washington. They are artists, entrepreneurs, technologists, farmers, and so much more. It's the people and their leaders that truly make Washington a unique place. Let's venture beyond politics and people. What makes Washington tick? Well, Washington is a powerhouse of economic activities, humming along with the rhythm of agriculture, manufacturing, and technology. This state is a bountiful land, producing an array of crops from apples and cherries to wheat and hops. Picture a landscape dotted with orchards, fields, and vineyards, all contributing to a vibrant agricultural sector. But wait, there's more. Washington is also a hub for manufacturing industries. From aerospace and shipbuilding to food processing and biofuels, the state's manufacturing sector is as diverse as it is dynamic. And we can't forget about technology, can we? Washington is home to some of the biggest names in the tech world. We're talking about companies like Microsoft, Amazon, and Boeing, who have set up shop right here, transforming the state into a global tech hub. Now let's switch gears and talk about some of the landmarks that make Washington unique. Standing tall in the heart of Seattle is the Space Needle. With its futuristic design, it's not just a symbol of the city, but a testament to human ingenuity. And then we have Mount Rainier, a majestic peak that towers over the state, its snow-capped summit a sight to behold. It's not just a natural landmark, but a playground for outdoor enthusiasts, offering activities like hiking, camping, and mountain climbing. Last but not least, let's talk about the Evergreen Point Floating Bridge, also known as the 520 Bridge. Spanning Lake Washington, it holds the record for being the longest floating bridge in the world. It's not just a marvel of engineering, but a vital link that connects the communities of Seattle and Bellevue. From economy to landmarks, Washington State is a land of diversity and innovation. So whether you're an entrepreneur, a farmer, a tech geek, or a traveler looking for breathtaking sights, Washington has something for everyone. Washingtonians have a love affair with one thing in particular: football. The sport runs deep in the veins of the Evergreen State, stirring a passion that's as infectious as it is enduring. You see, in Washington, football isn't just a leisurely pastime. It's a tradition. It's a community. It's the heart-thumping anticipation of the next play, the roar of the crowd on a touchdown, the camaraderie over shared triumphs and defeats. At the epicenter of this fervor, you'll find the Seattle Seahawks. This NFL team, with its legion of loyal supporters, aptly named the 12th man, has become synonymous with Washington's love of the game. Their dedication is legendary, their energy, palpable. They brave rain, shine, and the bone-chilling cold, all for the love of the game and their team. Football isn't just a game in Washington, it's a way of life. A life painted in hues of green and blue, reverberating with the echoes of cheering crowds and driven by an unwavering love of the game. Now let's talk about something everyone loves: food. In the land of Washington state, the food culture is as diverse as its landscape. From the bustling city of Seattle to the quiet corners of the countryside, Washington's culinary scene reflects the rich tapestry of cultures that have shaped its history. Here, food isn't just sustenance, it's a celebration of the state's multicultural heritage. The influence of Asian, Native American, and European cultures is evident in Washington's cuisine. Asian immigrants brought with them their rich culinary traditions, resulting in a fusion of flavors that can be tasted in dishes like teriyaki and pho, which have become staples in Washington's food scene. The state's Native American roots have contributed to the popularity of dishes like cedar-planked salmon, while European influences have led to the creation of delicious pastries and artisan cheeses. Then, there's the seafood. Washington's extensive coastline and numerous waterways provide an abundance of fresh seafood. Oysters, Dungeness crab, and salmon are just a few examples of the seafood delicacies that are synonymous with Washington's culinary scene. Now let's take a culinary tour of some of the state's popular restaurants. In Seattle, you'll find places like Canlis, an upscale restaurant offering a panoramic view of the city and a menu boasting exquisite dishes that change with the seasons. Then there's the Herb Farm, located in Woodinville, which offers a unique farm-to-table dining experience with menus inspired by the harvest of the Pacific Northwest. For those with a sweet tooth, don't miss out on tasting Washington's signature dessert, the apple pie. After all, Washington is the nation's largest producer of apples. Pair it with a cup of locally roasted coffee, and you've got yourself the perfect Washington treat. Whether it's savoring a bowl of clam chowder by the bay, indulging in a slice of apple pie in a cozy cafe, or dining in an upscale restaurant, the food and restaurant culture in Washington is as diverse and delightful as the state itself. Washington's culinary scene is a feast for the senses. Last but not least, let's talk about what connects Washington to the world. You see, Washington state is much more than just its landmarks, people, and vibrant culture. It's a key player in international commerce thanks to its bustling ports and airports. Let's start with the ports. The Port of Seattle, for instance, is not only a major gateway for trade with Asia, but it also supports over 200,000 jobs and contributes billions to the local economy. It's a hub of activity with massive container ships unloading goods from all corners of the globe. Then there's the Port of Tacoma, a powerhouse in its own right. Known for its deepwater harbor, it handles millions of tons of cargo each year. And let's not forget the Port of Vancouver, the oldest port in the state, which plays a crucial role in the movement of goods such as grain, automobiles, and wind energy equipment. Now let's take to the skies. The Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, affectionately known as SeaTac, is one of the busiest airports in the United States. Serving millions of passengers each year, it's a vital link between Washington and the rest of the world. Airports like Spokane International and Bellingham International also play crucial roles, connecting Washington to key domestic and international destinations. These airports don't just serve travelers looking for their next adventure, but they also support the state's economy by facilitating the movement of goods and attracting businesses. Whether it's the ports sending Washington apples to far-off markets, or the airports welcoming visitors from around the globe, these hubs of transport serve as the state's lifeline, connecting it to the world. They're not just infrastructure, they're symbols of Washington's openness and its dynamic role in the global economy. So, you see, Washington is not just a state, it's a gateway to the world. So, we've journeyed through the heart of Washington state. We've explored its bustling cities and quiet towns, met its dynamic governor, and discovered its thriving economy. We've cheered on its football teams, tasted its culinary delights, and marveled at its iconic landmarks. We've flown into its airports and docked at its ports. From Seattle to its governor, from football to food, Washington state is a tapestry of vibrant cultures, innovative economies, and passionate people. Next time you hear Washington, remember it's more than just Seattle.